take time right now to copy down the title of the notes and make sure you have everything you need. What we're doing today is solving rational equations. So when you think rational equations, I want you to think that you have a fraction equal to another fraction. So we've learned a lot about how to add, divide, multiply, and subtract different types of fractions. But in order to do the method today, we must have one fraction equaling another fraction. So our first example that we're going to look at is t plus 1 divided by 6 equals t minus 5 divided by 10. So I have one fraction on one side, this whole side is a fraction, and this whole side is a fraction. So now I can do what we call cross multiplication. So this is going to multiply by that, and this is going to multiply by that. So I'm going to write it as 10 times t plus 1, and that equal sign is still going to stay right between them because we still have an equation, we still need them to be equal. And then 6 times t minus 5. Okay, what does the left side distribute to? 10t plus 10. And what does the right side become? 6t minus 30. Now what should we do next? So we could subtract 6t. That'll give us 4t over here. And I'm going to go ahead and subtract 10 as well. And that equals negative 40. Divide by 4, and we get t is negative 10. I do want to plug it back in and check. So you'll need to do this on your test as well. So 10 plus 1 is 11 over 6. And then let's see if that is equal to 10 minus 5 over 10. So 11 over 6. Oops, I'm sorry. I'm plugging in negative 10. Let's try that again. So negative 10 plus 1 over 6 equals negative 10 minus 5 over 10. So we get negative 9 over 6 equals negative 15 over 10. That is negative 3/2, and so is that. So yes, this works. So that was problem 1. Problem 2, we're going to step it up a little bit. We're going to get c plus 5 over c minus 3 equals c plus 7 over c plus 3. Okay, do I have a fraction equal to a fraction? Yes, then I can move on with cross multiplication. So I'm going to go here, those two multiply, and here, those two multiply. So I get c plus 5 times c plus 3, and this still equal to c plus 7 times c minus 3. Now, I have to do double distribution here, so I get c squared plus 3c plus 5c plus 15. That becomes c squared plus 8c plus 15 equal to c squared minus 3c plus 7c minus 21. So that becomes c squared plus 4c minus 21. Now, in order to solve this, I've got some c squareds here, and I want to put them on the same side if I can. So I'm going to subtract, but that ends up canceling both of them, which is totally fine. So now I have 8c plus 15 equals 4c minus 21. So now I'm going to subtract 4c from both sides. That cancels out over here. So then I'm going to subtract 15 from both sides so that I can get the variable on one side. And I get 4c and negative 36. So c is negative 9. Now again, let's check. So negative 9 plus 5 over negative 9 minus 3, and negative 9 plus 7 over negative 9 plus 3. Oops. Okay, so the top over here becomes negative 4 over negative 12, and the top in the fraction on the right becomes negative 2 over negative 6. The left side becomes 1/3, and so does the right. So yes, this works. Okay, we're going to do one more example. And I'm going to make this up because IXL is not going to do this, but you will have a question like this on your test. So make sure you copy down this example. So if you have 1/2 plus x over, let's go with 7, equals x plus 2 over 8. Okay. Do I have one fraction equal to another fraction? Unfortunately not, because this is not one fraction. So I have to make that one fraction first. So I need to find a common denominator. The common denominator between 2 and 7 is 14. So I'm going to multiply this by 7 over 7 and this by 2 over 2. So that way I can get a common denominator of 14. So both of these become 14 down here. So this becomes 7 and this becomes 2x. And now that equals x plus 2 over 8. Now I can do cross multiplication because I have one fraction equaling another fraction. So now I can say that those will multiply and these will multiply. Now, I should have picked smaller numbers, but hang with me. All right, 8 times 7 is 56, plus 16x equals 14x plus 28. Okay, if I take away 14x, then I am left with 2x equals, I'm going to go ahead and subtract 56 from both sides. I believe that's negative 28. Divide by 2, and we get that x is negative 14. Hey, that wasn't so bad. So remember, you must have one fraction equal to another fraction. So before we can do what's called cross multiplication. That's that fancy method right there. And basically, we're just multiplying both sides by the denominator, and it ends up canceling out on one side. Let me know if you have any questions when you come to class. Actually, let's do one more question. Number 4. So if we have 1 over p plus 4 equals negative p over 10p plus 45. I have one fraction equaling another fraction, so I don't have to find a common denominator or anything like that. I can just do cross multiplication. So I get 1 times that. I'm just going to write it as 10p plus 45. And then negative p times that is negative p squared minus 4p. Okay. Now I have a p squared, and this one's not going to cancel out because I can't. If I add it to the other side, it doesn't reduce. So I'm still going to add it to the other side. I'm going to put it out here so it isn't underneath something it doesn't have a like term with. I'm going to make this equal 0. And we get p squared plus 14p plus 45. Now, in order to solve this, I have to factor. So 1 times 45 is 45. 9 and 5, if I add them, I get 14. So this will be p plus 9, p plus 5 equals 0. So p could be negative 9, p could be negative 5. So, but I now have to check both of those answers. So, 1 over negative 9 plus 4 equals negative 9. 10 times negative 9 plus 45. So that becomes 1 over negative 5. These two negatives cancel and I'm left with 9. Negative 90 plus 45 is negative 45. Are those both the same? Yes. Now let's plug in, so that one works. Let's plug in negative 5. 1 over negative 5 plus 4 equals negative 5. 10 times negative 5 plus 45. 1 over negative 1. 5 over negative 50 plus 45 is negative 5. Yes, those are both the same. So we end up with 2 answers this time. That's it for today. I'll see you in class on Monday.